Alright guys, we're going to annotate a couple of different intros today written for a certain prompt. But first we're going to need several different colors, and you're definitely going to need this pack of introductions, body paragraphs, and conclusions, but we're just going to focus on introductions today. First you need green, then you need pink, then you need purple, then you need orange, then you need red, and then you need black. We will be using these to make notes, to underline, to highlight, to do everything we need on annotating this piece of literature today. And hopefully this will be really helpful to you later on down the road. But for now, we're just looking at some of the components and some of the pieces that make up an introduction for the expository essay. Hopefully I've given you enough time to get those colors together. I know mine are the skinny markers, and some of you have the bigger markers. They work just as well. You just got to be careful and make sure you write with the tip, otherwise it'll look like you colored your whole paper. Alright, so with these, gather them up. We're going to make a key out of them. We're going to start with green. And green is going to be for our transition words. So we're going to write trans words. Then you need your pink. And this is going to be for your hook. Then you're going to need your purple for your cushion. Then you need your orange for your thesis statement. Then you need your red for your high vocabulary. Then you need black for your notes. Okay. Alright, so let's look at our prompt. It says, write an essay explaining whether failure can strengthen a person. And this was a release prompt a few years ago, so it's going to be one that you may see, or you kind of get the style of it. So let's read our first one. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger seems to be a natural catchphrase for many members of the general public. But is it the truth? This question is argued over constantly due to the positive and negative outcomes of failure. Despite all the repercussions of failure, it can in fact make people stronger due to its ability to teach people valuable lessons and give a great deal of life experience. Alright, so we're going to start with our pink, because obviously our first line of our introduction is a hook sentence. So let's underline that in pink. And Lord, I can't underline. Looks like I'm highlighting and scribbling. And let's label this a hook. Let's talk about this. What kind of hook is this? Well, this person decided they wanted to do kind of a double whammy. And that means our hook is our quote and a question all in one. Someone circle the question, and here's our quote. So we're going to label this hook quote and question. Obviously, you know that this is from the song What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, and then they turned it into a question. Our next sentence, this question is argued over constantly due to the positive and negative outcomes of failure. This needs to be underlined in purple. This is our cushion sentence. And a cushion, what it does is we start getting into our prompt. We start providing that cushion between our hook and our thesis. So we're going to label this cushion. And when we know that we're starting with this, is we start with failure. Obviously, we start honing into what that is. And obviously, it's going to be about failure. So then, we go into our last but least, strongest sentence of our whole paper. And it's our thesis sentence. So we underline that in orange. Despite all the repercussions of failure, It can, in fact, make people stronger due to its ability to teach people valuable lessons and give a great deal of life experiences. This is a phenomenal thesis statement. We know exactly what this person is going to talk about. So let's talk about that for just a second. Our thesis statement has to have 2 points in it, okay? It has to answer the prompt for one, and it has to have our 2 reasons. So we answer the prompt with, it can make people stronger due to its ability to teach people valuable lessons and give a great deal of life experiences. So there's our 2 points. Paragraph number 1, paragraph number 2. Okay? Library. And so from this point, we know what we're talking about in our paper. First paragraph, second paragraph. Okay? So, phenomenal paragraph. So now let's go back and let's look at our high vocabulary. We've got the word catchphrase, something we don't use every day. We have repercussions, something we probably don't use every day. Okay? And maybe you think some of the other words are higher vocabulary as well. But that's up to you and how you want to deem high vocabulary. Something you don't use in your everyday language. Okay? And I'm moving this back and forth so you can get all the notes needed for this. Okay? Because I don't want to leave anything out. Alright, so let's look. Do we use any transition words in here? This person does, obviously, with the word despite in green. And in fact, a good transition word in a sentence in the middle of it. Alright, so what this lesson doesn't teach you is we got multiple ways of starting a hook. Our thesis statement has 2 points in it. Let's use those higher vocabularies and let's make sure that we try to embed some transitional words to help flow between sentences and between words. Alright, so let's look at our next one. Our next one says, Superman is just a story, a fictionalized account of a man who never failed. The average human being will fail about 1 million times in their life, give or take a couple of thousand. Failure is integral to our nature, just as to never slip up is alien. The path to success is one littered by potholes and boulders, but stumbling and falling just means that the next time a rock is in the way, people will know how to get rid of it. Failure makes people stronger by teaching perseverance and endurance. This intro has a lot of different techniques going on with it. So let's go with our pink and let's look at our hook. Superman is just a story, fictionalized account of a man who never failed. We can call this several things, but in general, it's just a general statement. Okay? We kind of tell a little bit about it, but then we do something else. Okay? So let's go with our purple for our cushion. Okay? The average human being will fail about 1 million times in their life, give or take a couple thousand. Failure is an integral part of our nature to slip up, and I'm skipping a few words. Potholes, boulders, stumbling, falling just means that the next time the rock is in the way, people will know how to get rid of it. This is a rather large cushion, okay? Which is okay. Your introduction can vary between sentences, between 3 to 5 to 6 sentences, whatever gets the job done. You just want to make sure that the meat of your paper is in your body paragraphs and not your intro or your conclusion. So this cushion does something. We have a comparison, and we are comparing life failures to those of potholes and boulders. So this person definitely uses what we call an extended metaphor. And that just means not only are we making a direct comparison, but we're comparing throughout several sentences and maybe throughout our entire essay. Okay, so we got our cushion. We know that we're talking about failure. Now we need to hone in on what our thesis statement is. What exactly are we talking about here? So I'm going purple, or I'm going orange. Failure makes people stronger by teaching perseverance and endurance. Okay, so we know that our thesis is going to be, our 2 body paragraphs are going to be about teaching perseverance and endurance. Body number 1, body number 2. And so let's go back in with our red for a high vocabulary. We have maybe fictionalized. That's not something we use every day. What about integral? It's nice. Learn to use those thesauruses. Thesaurusi. No, they're not dinosaurs. Perseverance, endurance. Again, both words that are, a little higher level than we use maybe every day. Does this person use any transition words? No, not that I see. Okay, still fantastic introduction. All right, so let's go to our third type of introduction. So we've had a hook with a quote and a question, and then we've had a general statement. All right, so let's look at our third one. This world will hit you